There was a night, quiet, heavy, unlike any other. I sat alone, staring out at the skyline, the lights of a city that had once believed in itself. And I asked a question I never thought I'd ask. God, what is the future of America? The silence that followed wasn't empty. It was powerful. And then, in that silence, came the answer that shook me to my very core. You see, America isn't just a place on a map. It's an idea. It's the belief that no matter how far we fall, we rise again. But somewhere along the way, we stopped believing in that rise. We started listening to fear, to doubt, to the voices that said, "It's over." That night, I felt that doubt myself. For the first time in a long time, I felt small. But something inside me said, "Don't stop there. Ask the question." So I did. And the answer came, not in words, but in vision. I saw a vast field, once green, once alive. Now it looked burned, silent, hopeless. And yet, buried beneath that ash, I could feel it, the heartbeat of something not yet finished. Then I heard the voice, strong, calm, undeniable. It said, "The future of America doesn't depend on governments. It depends on hearts. It depends on those who still dare to dream." At that moment, I realized this wasn't about politics. It was about people. The builders, the workers, the dreamers, the believers. The people who still look at the stars and think, "We can do better." I looked back at that burned field again, and this time I saw something new. Tiny sparks. Not many, just a few, but they began to glow. And suddenly, I understood the message. A single spark is enough to start a fire, if it refuses to die. America's future isn't about what we've lost. It's about what we're still willing to fight for. It's about the dreamers who still get up every morning and say, "This is my time, this is my land, and I'm not giving up." When I asked God about America's future, I expected a miracle. What I got instead was a mission. The voice said, "Tell them the truth, that the greatness of this nation doesn't come from power, it comes from purpose." And I knew right then, this was no prophecy of doom. It was a challenge, a call to every man and woman who refuses to be forgotten. A reminder that we are not finished yet. Because every empire falls, but only a few ever rise again. And those who do, they rise not with noise, but with purpose, unity, and belief. So if you're hearing this today, and something inside you is stirring, that's not coincidence. That's the spark. Share it. Feed it. Because when you inspire one person, you reignite an entire nation. And as I stood there in that vision, the field began to glow again. The fire spread, the land came alive. And I heard the voice one last time say, "The future of America is not written by fear. It's written by faith." So I'll say this to you. Never stop believing in the rise. Never stop believing in the legend inside you. Because when everything seems lost, that's when true greatness begins. And that's the truth about destiny. It doesn't belong to the powerful. It belongs to the persistent.